Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Late Night. Oh, let's take off this music. We don't want that. Also, we don't have Igor on today. Let's just get to this. All right. What is up, everybody? Happy Thursday. Late Night on Base is back April 16th. I hope everyone is doing well. Yeah, happy to be here. We're going to chat. Today we have IBU on, and that's going to be a fun little show. We get to talk to a solo founder all about kind of, what it's like building in today's AI world. So that's going to be fun. It's going to be a good show because I think we can learn a lot from IBU. And so stay tuned for that. He'll be on in about, 20 minutes. So we're just going to talk about the latest, as we do literally Monday through Thursday. We talk about the latest in AI, apps, tech, and things happening on chain. So, and basically the whole point of this show is strictly one thing only, and that is to give distribution to the next wave of builders building cool things in tech. So that's what we do. All right, so today, let's see. What does our... Actually, let's see here. Yeah, there's some interesting news today. We'll talk how AI getting removed from the App Store, which if you are an app founder in consumer apps, this is something you got to pay attention to. We're going to talk about a AI project called Factory that raised, that just announced their 150 million Series C, which is insane. Basically, their valuation is 1.5 billion. And we're going to go through some other stuff. So let's start off. Let me also see what Teddy says, because Teddy, as you know, is my agentic agent. And he is the executive producer of this show. So let's see. All right, 1 second. All right, so nope, not this one. All right, so Teddy today, notes for today, April 16th, Cal AI got pulled from the App Store. Apple kicked them off for integrating Stripe, a viral app. AI gone overnight. Someone made $360K betting on Biden's pardons before they were announced. I think through like a prediction market, someone threw a Molotov cocktail at Sam Altman's house. And live with IBU, solo dev building a startup in the age of AI. No VC, just one person navigating what it actually looks like to build right now. All right, thank you, Teddy. So that is what we're going to talk about. So let's actually, let's see. One second. Let's actually get the news. Let's start with the news of Cal AI because there's a few things to talk about that pertain to the issue of censorship. All right. So today's big story is the consumer app era. Is everyone's talking about how Cal AI is delisting the real stories worse. So let's do this. Hold on one second. One second. All right. So this is something I wanted to highlight because, again, a lot of people are building in consumer apps, and I think people need to be paying attention just as how big of a monopoly Apple has. Apple, the App Store. So yesterday, Apple pulled Cal AI from the App Store, 50 million ARR company acquired by MyFitnessPal, probably between 200 and 250 million. He has to guess. Gone overnight because they used in-app payment sheets to bypass IAP. So basically, the way App Store is, they have a monopoly. If you want to pay, you got to use your Apple account, pretty much. But they got around this using something called in-app payment sheets, which allows you to bypass that and use Stripe. Apple doesn't like that. So let's see what happens. One second. By the way, if anyone's fighting like allergies, it's probably the worst. It is absolutely the worst. Jesus. But thankfully, we have allergy shots. Let's go. Anyways, all right. So there's two responses here. App Store literally removed it. Apple's evil. This is anti-competitive. Or you're in the camp. Never bypass IAP. Use Apple's 30% end of story. People have to understand when you build an app on the App Store, Apple takes 30% every single time. Every transaction, 30%. Boom. Which is why Apple's like the world's most valuable company. So you're building a consumer app. You can't get around that. Yet there are people who try. And this is what happens. They remove it. So the truth in the workaround Cal AI was using solve the problem apps actually have. The problem didn't go away when Apple pulled them, and there's a completely legal playbook that payment sheets did without platform risks. So here's the deal. The reason payment sheets got Cal AI killed is that the purchase happened inside the iOS app. If the user pays on your website before downloading, that revenue is legally outside Apple's control. This is why web to app funnels are not a gray area. Let's see. Try to see if there's anything here I want to point out before I discuss. Yeah, so I think the more broader question is, what role should Apple have in allowing them to remove something? This is arguably a huge app, number one app in the store in their little meta. Like I said, Cal AI just got acquired for upwards of 100 plus million. And because they try to bypass their Apple's, Apple Pay, not even bypass it because they still allow you to purchase it, but allowing, other avenues to come in. Literally, they removed it without any, like a mafia boss, like, we're gone. And so they lost, revenue. Like if you're not on the Apple Store, you're basically done, right? And Apple's the one who decides. It's very monopolistic, yes. So we just don't know what camp, where you fall. Obviously, it's Apple's it's their platform, their rules. But it makes you think like, okay, like if you're a founder, what do? You just have to follow the playbook, I guess. You just have to follow the playbook. And it's just a reminder that, there are platforms that get to make up the rules as they see fit. And this is one of them. This is absolutely one of them. So just a reminder out there, if you're building, follow the rules. I know it's kind of crazy, but if not, Apple is the mafia boss. Apple will absolutely just crush you. Without the Apple Store, you're fucked. I don't care what kind of app you're making in the app world. You got to be on the App Store. Simple as that. End of story. That's where everyone is. That's where your revenue comes from. So Apple's just showing, like they run this show. So I thought it was very interesting, and yeah, very very cool. I shouldn't say very cool. I'm sure they'll get it solved. That won't be an issue, but let's keep an eye on that. So yeah, shout out to the 370 people tuning in. It's always nice to have like a show where I don't have a big guest on, like it's not like a banker or whatever. When you have those kind of guests, it's pretty cool because a lot of the community comes in, they see who you are, they want to root for the projects. But it's nice to have solo devs come on where we just chat about it and what they're building because I'm excited for today's show because again, Ebu's living what the majority are doing. Solo devs using AI to create a project on their own with no VC funding, nothing. The goal is to get that VC funding, and that's the journey. So it'll be really good to see kind of like Ebu's, thought process and how he's building and what it entails to be a solo founder in today's AI world before the glamour, before the 150 million raise at a 1.5 billion valuation. So very excited for that. So in other news though, factory AI. And this just kind of goes to show, I bring this up because we talk about AI, consumer apps, all sorts of things, the type of money and where the attention is going to. The type of attention, if you're talking to VCs, AI, clearly, stable coins, consumer apps, that's where the money's going. That's literally where the money's going. Case in point, Factory AI raises 150 million on a 1.5 billion valuation. This is a 3-year-old startup which builds AI agents like Droid to fully automate software development. Closed 150 million Series C, led by Kolsla Ventures, with Sequoia Capital, Blackstone, and others joining. Co-founder Matan Grimberg recalled starting in April 2023 amid AI co-pilot hype and during 2 rough years while powering tasks for NVIDIA, Adobe, hundreds of thousands of developers. Revenue has doubled for 6 straight months. And new features like missions positions droids as full spectrum systems topping benchmarks. Wow. 150 million. Damn, Series C. Must be nice. This Coleslaw Ventures, I don't know who they are, but I want to get to know them because I saw another thing where they like invested 30 million in like some guys like Entrepreneur Fund. I don't know what it is, but big boys are deploying. The big boys are deploying. And so this just kind of shows the money that's out here. Now the question we have to ask, all right, there's no denying AI is the sector everyone's paying attention to. Is it a bubble? To be seen. To be seen. I don't personally think it's a bubble. I think eventually it will pop like everything else. But I think everything is shaping up that the AI narrative is going to have a .com boom before the bubble pops. Now, nothing goes up forever. We all know that. You have to be very, very naive to think everything goes up forever. It doesn't do that. But it shows that if you're an entrepreneur, you're building, you have to take AI seriously. You just have to. If you're in gaming, use AI. Like everything has to revolve around AI because it just makes things more efficient. I guess there's an argument to be said, no non-AI projects will do well because people want human connection. I guess you could if you push yourself on the human connection side of things, sure. But if you want to seek funding in today's world, it has to be something utilizing AI. I just don't see any other opportunity. It just is what it is. If you want the big boys' money, you got to play the big boy game. And so this is just really wild to me where 150 million at 1.5 billion valuation. I mean, granted, they are profitable, but this doesn't happen overnight. Let's just see this guy. This guy literally looks like he's 20. Jeez, good job. GG, bro. GG. Let's see. Curious to know what Tom is thinking. Like, so Tom is the CEO of Juno, ZHC Institute, and he's chatting quite a bit with Matan Grimberg. Very interesting to see. Man, imagine how like set for life if you're able to raise this kind of cash. Like this guy is probably now multi millionaire. And that's the beauty about being an entrepreneur, man. Like we swing for the fences. God, I hate having a stuffy nose. It's the worst. I need to take some meds. You know what? Give me a second. Give me a second. Let's just let's leave this article right here. BRB. BRB. All right, we're back at it, baby. God bless nose spray. God bless nose spray. Feeling a lot better. Temporary relief. Shout out to the 1,000 people tuning in. All right, so yeah, so basically it just shows where the capital is going. 150 million Series C, and I was just saying, as an entrepreneur, man, this is the goal. Like you're set. That's what we all do. We swing for the fences. Swing for the fences and try to build something that gets this valuation. Like you are set for life. Even if you don't make it, like if you raise this kind of money, like you are set. Like I don't care what anyone says, you're absolutely set. You've secured yourself as like an up and coming like stud. Raising 150 million, like that's just insane. Obviously, it's a unicorn, but you're really interesting to see how this continues to go play out. But again, AI is showcasing again. If you want to raise capital, this is the time to be. This is literally the world that we're supposed to be in. We're blessed. We're blessed to be in this situation. So, good job to Factory for raising 150 million Series C fundraise at a 1.5 billion valuation. Pretty wild. All right, so let's see what else. What else is Teddy gonna say? I think Teddy was saying something about. Actually, let's just look. There's some interesting things. Let's see what the consumer app of the day is. Let's see. Where's my list, babe? Where is my list? I like how my thing shows like a random Selena Gomez thing, like I care. Let's see. Highly recommend making lists if you guys haven't done so already. Let's see. Interesting. Another one by Coastal Ventures. Man, Coastal Ventures is just all about AI. So this company, Slash App, raised 100 million Series C at a 1.4 billion valuation to build the world's most powerful banking platform. The round was led by Ribbit Capital and co-led by Coastal Ventures and Goodwater Capital. Slash App. All right, let's see. Business banking for internet entrepreneurs. Wild. Literally wild. A new class of business is emerging. Lean teams, massive revenue, and no tolerance for financial infrastructure requires manual work. Slash App is building the operating system for that operator. What makes the model work is that AI isn't a feature, but the entire production system at Slash. Every company has different financial needs, different payment circles, different cash flow patterns, different workflows. Slash builds deeply tailored tools for each industry by industry. That level of coverage with a team under 100 is only possible when AI is core, not cosmetic. Slash gives thousands of customers a financial platform that understands their industry, automates their workflows, and now through Twin acts as an AI chief of staff for the entire financial operation. Let me just turn this video on because again, I highlight this because these companies are valued at 1.4 billion. I just showed you one that Coastal Ventures did, 1.5. This one's 1.4. Only possible in the age of AI. So let's listen to this, guys. Let's listen. Let's see what he says.
And they've come to us because we've delivered. Slash just raised $100 million Series C at a $1.4 billion valuation to build the most powerful business banking platform in the world. The round was led by Ribbit Capital with participation from Coastal Ventures and Goodwater Capital, the same investors behind Stripe, Coinbase, and Robinhood. Today, Slash powers over $30 billion a year in annual payment volume for over 5,000 businesses. And they've come to us because we've delivered on our promise that your bank account should do more. Your bank account should keep your employees from overspending, close your books for you, let you send and receive crypto, and much, much more. Your time as an entrepreneur needs to be spent on the needle-moving parts of your business, not your back office. And today, we're reinventing our entire product. Introducing Twin, the world's first AI agent that can safely control your bank account and buy things for you. Now let me show you how powerful it actually is. Let's tell Twin to start an Instacart order for the office. The team puts a request in the Slack channel, and when we're ready to buy, Twin does it for you. It summarizes all the requested items, matches them on Instacart, and places the order without you having to lift a finger. Twin is the world's first agent that can safely use your credit card. Now, let's tell Twin, invoice Wrath software for $10,000 and follow up in 7 days if they haven't paid. Right now, Twin is looking through your customers, finding their AP email, and sending them their invoice. 7 days later, if the invoice hasn't been paid, Twin follows up without being asked. Twin is just as useful for all your employees. Say your COO went on a company trip and forgot his corporate card. He can upload his credit card statement, send Twin a voice note explaining which transactions were made on the company's behalf, and Twin will automatically create 100 clean reimbursement requests in under a minute. We built Twin with account security at its core. Twin can never go rogue because every transaction it makes requires your explicit approval. Twin will change how businesses bank forever.
Wow. Not gonna lie, guys, that was pretty bullish. I mean, as far as what's the word I'm trying to look for? As far as getting hyped about something, that video did its job. Wow, that literally is pretty freaking cool. And I mean, for that idea, and I guess it's doing it right now. I think they said 5,000 people are utilizing the software. It's an AI agent that basically runs companies like payroll and accounting. I wouldn't say it's the most novel idea, but it works. And guess what? It works to the tune of over a $1.4 billion valuation. That's just insane. So I mean, I don't know. You guys tell me. Do you think in this world that we live in, this was possible? Like they would be able to raise this 3 years ago? No, they probably wouldn't have a product. So I mean, during the .com bubble, I was like 14 or something. So I didn't really understand what was going on. But it leads me to say that, like, you know, as an entrepreneur, the time is to build an AI now, because eventually these valuations just can't continue to go on. I just don't see that happening. But until that day happens, and I think we're far away from any sort of bubble bursting, I think there's massive opportunity, massive upside. And I mean, who doesn't want to create something of this kind of valuation? I mean, granted, I think this is super useful. I would definitely be interested if I was a big business to use it. But what would be more interesting to me is actually being the one building the platform. So shout out to them. And, you know, it'll be really interesting to see. But that just shows you two different apps, two random, actually, I shouldn't say apps, but two random companies that most of you in crypto probably have never heard of. But in Silicon Valley, I'm sure have raised over 1.4.
Slash just raised $100 million Series C.
So good for them. Literally good for them. Wow. All right. So that's that. We're going to have IBU on in a couple of minutes. And, you know, IBU might be the next guy who creates it. I'm really excited to talk to him. Like I said, I think it'll provide great value for budding entrepreneurs. Yeah. See, this is so super cool. This is like the story of like this has to be something where you should be motivated. Like this is the best time in life to ever be motivated. Everything in my life has led to this moment. In 2021, I dropped out of the #1 school in America as a Venezuelan immigrant to build Slash. We pivoted twice before getting our first customer, and even after raising our 19 million Series A, we had to lay off half our team and start from the ground up. Truth is, There are millions of founders out there right now who are exactly where I was a few years ago. It's underdog, overlooked, trying to build something that shouldn't work. If that's you, I want Slash to be the banking platform that helps you do it. It's really remarkable, man. It's pretty crazy to see how, like, tech gives people opportunities that never would have existed before. Absolutely never would have existed. And that's why we do what we do. So shout out to him. We'd love to get him on the show sometime. I literally will get him on the show sometime. I want to. Let's see what else. Let's see. How to use Claude Code to build a GTA stat tracker and flip into SaaS before the game drops. Breaking news, how navigation apps find the shortest route has been leaked. Man, okay, no, this is just wrong. Got a prompt, anything interesting? Yeah, a bunch of other things. I want to, maybe tomorrow or no, next week, how to scale your app to 25K a month, double your prices, 50 steps onboarding, hard paywall. Let's see. So the advice Ernesto is giving, double your prices until it stops working. Yeah, I guess. 50-step onboarding. So I see a lot of people saying the harder it is to onboard, the better. I'm very curious to see why that would be the case. To me, it would be creating friction. So I don't necessarily know. I would assume you would be tired of it and you'd like want to leave, but I guess not. 5 million organic views a month with high quality call to action. That's it. So very interesting. Very interesting. And I think one of the secret sauces with apps, and like I said, I'm going to be building an app. I'm going to be releasing an app store to kind of document it, right? Like it's not my main focus, but I'm going to put it out there. I think it's a really interesting idea what we're building, and kind of just experiment and see what kind of things we can do to generate a higher ARR. But one of the cool things with tech is the auto conversion of free trials to main trials. Like it's very difficult to, a lot of times people forget once you have the free trial, you forget that you're going to get paid, or you automatically charges. And that's where a lot of people make money. Obviously, I don't know if they retain after the month 2, but at month 1, you just got paid. So it is something to think about. All right. So we're going to be waiting for. All right. So that is that. I'm very interested to see how that goes. I hope you guys are doing pretty well right now. By the way, it's Thursday. Excited for the coming weeks. So we're actually booked up for the next 3 weeks. This show is completely booked, which is super cool. I really respect that. And also, while we wait for IBU, just let him know we're ready for him. I'm really going to step up the production value of the show. I'm looking forward to that. Actually, one of the things that be curious to know what you guys think. I think this is what's going to happen. Watch. I think this is kind of like, this is the layout. This is my inspiration. And I think Late Night on Base will be producing this at a studio near you. I think once I get this down, I think the production value is going to increase tremendously. I'm really looking forward to getting this light. I didn't realize there's like light makers who do these things. So stay tuned for that. I think this will give a really nice look, a nice touch once I create this setting. Because right now the setting kind of sucks. I'm not gonna lie. I know that. It's a fucking kitchen table. I do, for bigger guests, I do rent a studio, like a professional studio, but like you can't do that every single day. So I think creating your own little studio in whatever space you have is pretty vital. So I'm looking forward to upping the production value of Late Night on Base, but I'm really looking forward to this sign. I think it's pretty dope, actually. I think it's absolutely pretty dope. So yeah, we'll looking forward to when that gets installed, hopefully in the next month or two, or next couple weeks. Let's see. All right. So very interesting to see. Stay tuned for that. But I think we now have a legend coming on the show. Let's get him on in a second, real quick. We'll talk all about life as a solo founder in today's crazy AI world. Welcome to the show, IBU. How you doing, man?
Hey, Bill. Good. Thank you so much for inviting me. How are
Dude,
you?
I'm good, man. I'm excited to have you on because I think, we have all sorts of people on. We have a lot of projects who've already established, teams, but like solo founders. Your story is very interesting to me because you are, and to me, are more representative of the next wave of builders using AI as a solo founder. And you are living that journey. I think you recently moved to San Francisco. So I want to just kind of talk to you about your product, how you're navigating the ups and downs as a solo founder. But let's first start off. We have 2,300 people tuning in right now. Let's first start off with the basics. Ibu, tell us, who are you?
Thank you. So, hey, everybody, my name is Ibu Karel. I am the founder of Consort Technologies and Lolo. And Lolo is the product that we're going to be talking about later today. I've been working in the crypto space for 5 years. I've known Bill since last summer 2025. I met him in San Francisco, actually, for the base. What was it called?
On-Chain Summit.
On-Chain Summit. Yeah, exactly. So I met him in person. Plus, he was we were both part of the Zora ecosystem. And, I was running a page with some other founders back then called Docker. Some of you, I'm sure, remember, maybe not, but it was one of the bigger pages on Zora. Bill also had a large page on Zora. So we were just in that same world together, and kind of rode that Zora wave while it was cresting. And now, previously I was also the CMO of a DeFi protocol called Folks Finance, which is a cross-chain lending protocol live on a bunch of different chains. And I was with them for 3.5 years. It was a great, amazing time. I decided I wanted to go and try to do my own thing and build my own company. So I started Consort and Lolo in January of 2026. So this year, just about 3 months ago.
And you're starting basically at a time when the market is not really, it's not at its peak euphoria. You're starting in kind of what we consider bear market. So I have a lot of respect for Ibu. And by the way, we're going to clip this portion of the episode onto Spotify. So for those that might not be able to tune in, what we do on Late Night on Base, we take 20-minute conversations with every team or guest who comes on, and we put them as an individual episode on Spotify for further distribution, because we need to get outside this crypto bubble.
Yeah.
It's the only way a project's going to do. If we just stay in, circle jerk each other, no one wins. And so we build distribution. So Ibu, talk to us. All right. Consort Technologies. All right. You went from Docker. You decided to build on your own. Now, walk us through the strategy as a solo founder, because I think your story resonates with a lot of people. You have this idea. You're like, all right, I see AI. I see the tools. Walk us through from the start of time. You're like, all right, I want to make this happen, to now, what are the next steps as a founder for you? Where did you go? What did you do? Who are you talking to? How are you building? How are you planning to get from idea to product to millions of people?
So in the beginning of 2026, when OpenClaw came out, that was a couple days after I'd officially left Folks. I left Folks in the middle of January, and I started using OpenClaw. Yeah, probably about a week later. I was on a trip, and then I came back to the US as I picked it up when the hype was kind of bubbling up. And it was probably only 2 or 3 days into the hype of OpenClaw on X. And you remember back then it was so crazy. So I picked it up and I was like, okay, this could be interesting, because I had one specific utility that I wanted to do with it, and I had had this need for a while, which was to sort my Telegram contacts. So that was the first thing that my first apologize from coffee. I have a slight cough, but that was my first vibe code project, right? Where I had never really touched coding or engineering before. And I just decided to figure it out. And if I got stuck, I would ask, Claude, just regular Claude, not OpenClaw, but regular Claude. I would just copy paste. Okay, I don't know what this means. I give it to another AI. It explains it. And then I give that back to the OpenClaw, and it understands what that said. And just you can really just, in the beginning, especially when you're learning how to use these AI tools for coding or whatever you want, but really like if you just kind of act as a facilitator between them, between different agents, they'll end up like they'll know what each other are talking about far better if you don't understand, and then you just start to pick up on it. It's like if you're in the room with two experts on a subject and you're just listening to them talk for a while, then after a certain point you're gonna like start to get it. So that's how I kind of got my start with it. I built the Telegram sorting tool. I'd actually had Consort Technologies for a while. Like I'd incorporated back in the middle of 2025. So this is a thing like I wanted to do for a while, and I had the idea for the company. So like everything was kind of ready. And then I also had the idea for Lolo for like years actually. And in 2025, I had fleshed it out a lot more with like a lot of documentation and design. And, you know, I spent months on it. So then like I was playing around with a couple product ideas in the beginning of January. And then I just decided to like, okay, after like, I don't know, 2-3 weeks of playing around with OpenClaw, Claude Code, etc. I was like, okay, I have this idea for Lolo. I have tons of documentation. I have design. I have like all this stuff. What if I just like throw it all at Claude Code when Opus 4.6 came out and just see like, okay, with the maximum amount of context that I can give this, what can it one shot it? And like, it didn't one shot it, but it got like decent enough where it was encouraging. And I was like, oh, I could actually do this. And, you know, I'm a bootstrapped founder just going off my savings right now. So that's one of the main reasons I can't have teammates. I just literally couldn't pay them unless someone would want to join for like, you know, equity in a dream. And I'm definitely down for that. But, you know, right now it's just like, so the way I think about it is it's just prioritizing like, and we can get more into this, how I think about that, prioritizing like what's most important on any given day, being consistent, like just always doing something every day to try to push it forward. And yeah, like thinking long term, you know, not like getting wrapped up in local ups and downs, emotional swings. Like sometimes it feels amazing. Oh my God, this is working so well. Sometimes it feels like, what the fuck? I just wasted the whole day, like trying to bug fix this and it didn't even work. And, you know, just consistency though, it's made some really great progress. So I think like for solo founders, it's the mentality is the number one thing you need to have, like just to keep going.
No, yeah, absolutely. And I want to dive deep into Lolo specifically, but like I said, one of the cool things, and for those that don't know, like I love your videos, your little short form videos that you post where it's just like you eating sushi or ramen or something. And you're just talking about, you know, you're documenting your journey as a founder.
Yeah.
And not every day is good. You're talking about stuff like, fuck, like, what am I doing? Or like, you know, but that's real, dude. That is absolutely real because as a founder, bro, I've documented shit. I've failed on a lot of stuff. But I shouldn't say fail because I don't believe in failure. I believe everything that you push and you build, you learn something from it. But like when you're documenting things, it's real. It's truly transparent because not every day is going to be good. You know, for me, this media thing that I'm doing now is my full-time thing. I'm focused. I have a 1 to 2 year vision of like, I'm manifesting. I'm going to be the next TPPN before solo, you know, devs and teams and entrepreneurs. Like that's my lane. Yeah. Not every day is going to be good and bad. And I respect the realness that you provide. And I hope you keep bringing that out there because I think other founders, actually, I think every founder can relate to your stories. Do you see like before we get into more of the tech side of things in your product, but what led you to make those videos? Is it more for you to document how you're feeling, or do you want to inspire others, or maybe some of both?
It's like, it's a little bit of both. I mean, I think primarily it was because, you know, I like making videos and you know this about me. Like I've always made videos for my entire time working in crypto since 2021. So videos are like natural to me, especially that kind of short form, vertical, quick, like not crazy amount of editing, more just about like the vibe and the story. And it was because also as a, you know, solo founder, what I'm going through right now, it kind of reminds me of when I was working on music really heavily. And I was like doing production, writing, recording. And then like, you know, I was trying to do the whole project front to back. And then by the time I got to trying to drop the music, like I wasn't really able to code switch into the marketing brain. So it reminds me of right now because I'm like building and then there's marketing. So like for me right now, it's like I can't really focus on marketing Lolo. That's why I've really done like almost no Lolo marketing. Only marketing I've done is just those videos. And it's because I like to make them. They're fun. I hope that people enjoy that's a real story. Like that's my real life. I'm not like, I just record shit that I see and record myself doing stuff. Like that's it. And I try to just chop it together in a 2 minute. And hopefully it's for lore building as well. Like hopefully down the line, if Lolo is successful or something is successful that I do, people will be able to look back on that. Maybe even my family, future family or kids or something, or like grandkids even be like, yo, look what he was doing. Like when no one knew about that shit. So
I love it. Let me take 40 seconds so you guys can see this because this is
I have about 3 to 4 months left before I go broke. Just ran some rough numbers. So finished product to a point where it's like, okay, we're good. We keep it there. April, go heavy into marketing and fundraising. And I have to fundraise in the next 3 months. Flat out. So this should be fun.
Doing some late night bug fixing and testing on Lolo, new features. Got some like microwave pasta here in Osaka. Gotta keep pushing. This is batch 10D. Very key. Product must be ready. That's it. Then I have to move on to other things. It's crunch time.
Dude, I really love that. I absolutely love that. I just love like that realness in you, man. Like you are on a mission, you know what you have to do. And actually the editing is actually really fucking good, man. Like that was really good. Like little spots and like you're eating and then you cut the scene. It's like you on a subway. So shout out to you, man.
Thanks. Yeah, I don't know. Like I just don't have even that much time to do like heavy effect editing and stuff. So that's why I just try to keep the concept really simple. And I also don't have the energy to like manufacture a story. I feel like my story is just it's already decent enough.
No, I agree. And I think
like it's enough, you know.
And it shows the human side of things. And like what I'm saying, those videos just kind of show who the founder is. And that sets you apart. And I say this to many, many people. You can build the greatest product, but you have to market yourself. People invest in the founders, honestly.
Right.
Since now we're in an AI world where there's going to be more and more people building stuff because the barrier to enter is much lower now. So now you have more supply of products and ideas, which is great. But not everyone's going to win, but the ones that are going to win are the ones with human founders that people actually like. And I want to talk about Lolo. I want to talk about San Francisco because I'm really proud of you for moving there.
Thank you, man.
I think that was a massive move and the right move. And I will talk about that later. But let's first talk about Lolo. Let's talk about the product that you're building.
Yeah. Because
I want to know more. I want my 3,000 people tuning in to know more. So talk to us. What is Lolo?
Okay. Do you mind if I demo it?
I would love that.
All right, sweet.
So and then
can I share screen?
Of course.
All right, perfect. Because this home screen you're looking at, the landing page, I need to fix. It's not super great. It doesn't explain it very well. But,
share away, brother.
But I can definitely like pull it up for you and give you a show, right? So let's get that going. All right. So here I have it running on my computer, right? And you guys can see. So Lolo is a location social platform that connects people based on their reputation. So a lot of people wonder, what does that really mean? Well, how do we really build reputation in real life? I mean, it's all different ways. I think of it as like infinite pathways to the same destination. It's like, and I'll get into that in a little bit, but on Lolo, the point of it is to be able to discover people that are around you, that share your same interests, discover events that are relevant to you, and be able to kind of filter out people that might just be spammers or bots or scammers or low quality, like people that really not worth your time. And so that, I'll get into how we do that. But when you land on the page or when you first enter the app, you're going to see a map of where you're at, right? So I'm here in San Francisco. And you can ping your location on a neighborhood, city, state, or country level. So never precisely shared, more like, okay, here I'm in this neighborhood, or I'm in SF, or I'm in Cali, right? Or I'm in the US. So it could be as general or specific as you want. So if we go here, like I'll just say, all right, I'm here in Inner Richmond, right? And I'll ping there. Now, if I tap on, let me just make sure my filters are right. Yeah, so if I just tap on San Francisco, I'll see other people who are pinged in that area as well. So here's another user, right? So this user and I are already friends. We're already part of some groups together. He has 185 rep. So I can see like some information. And if I go to his page, I'll be able to see more like how strong is our connection. We have a strong connection because we have, excuse me, already friends, 5 mutuals, 8 circles. It's kind of like a group. You could compare a circle to like a group or a subreddit kind of. And then we also hold ETH. We hold the same asset. So these are different ways that people can link up. If I go to New York City, I'll be able to find people, even if I'm not friends with them, that are based on those connections. When I'm establishing my profile, I can go here, right? Name, username, all that stuff that you guys are used to. Everyone's familiar. But here is really like, I'll explain the reputation system. So originally the idea for Lolo was like snap maps for crypto. It was like, I had this years ago when NFTs were big. It was like, NFTs are strong communities of like thousands of people. If you gave them away, they're all unified by one data point, right? Like they all have a Bored Ape or they all have a CryptoPunk or whatever from the top to the bottom of NFTs. How do we get those people together? Because if you give them a way to get together, they're most likely going to want to hang out or at least spin up some events and do some stuff like that. But so that's what I was originally building. But when I was in Osaka, I met with an advisor. We started to talk about like the monetization of Lolo, and then it kind of like inspired me, and I really thought about that for the rest of the day, and that led me to the realization that like it's not about crypto. What you hold in crypto is just indicative of your status within that niche. So if you're holding a CryptoPunk, for example, now it's okay, you're probably a pretty high level crypto person, right? You probably have some, that's one indicator of your reputation. But other indicators are like you can see here, at least the 6 core pillars that I've fleshed out so far. And again, everything's subject to change. So if the audience or you have thoughts and you think you want to, oh, that's terrible or whatever, I want to hear that. But first one is identity. So it's like, who are you? Like, you know, you can verify your ID through World ID on Lolo. It's going to increase your reputation score because it's like, okay, now you're beyond agent. You're beyond a bot. So that's already important, right? Submit a claim is like professional stuff. I could say I'm the founder of Lolo. Other users would have to verify that. Or I could say I graduated from the University of Hartford and, you know, I could get that verified as well. That's going to increase my credentials, right? I could say I dropped or I made this artwork or I dropped an album or something. Other users can verify that and it will increase your reputation because it's like contributions to society, right? Like who are you and what have you contributed to society? Digital presence, of course, is pretty obvious. Social media is linking your X, Google, Telegram. I obviously want to have like LinkedIn and IG and TikTok here as well, YouTube. So people can like, if you're a digital creator, that's where your reputation's built on. It's like, how active are your socials? How much engagement are you getting? That stuff matters as well, right? Physical presence, showing up to events. And this is something we can kind of get into, but you can do events on Lolo that are filtered for various crypto holdings or for a reputation level or whatever, like a certain group. When you show up, you gain reputation. Just like in real life, if you show up to a party, like your credibility goes up. However, if you spam RSVP, so this is something in Lolo, the event organizer can require a reputation stake to RSVP. For all the people who don't show up to the event, the rep that they staked gets totaled up and distributed to the people who did show up. So showing up to events means something. Spamming RSVP on everything is bad because it misleads the event organizer and the attendees. On-chain, linking wallets. If you have stuff that you hold in your wallets, like EVM wallet, Solana, you can link both of them right now. You can link a base wallet here on EVM. You can link a Sol wallet. In time, it'll have every chain because I feel like it's no reason to be excluding anybody. network strength is like your friends on Lolo. So if you and I are friends on Lolo, Bill, and we're both like good reputation, we're going to boost each other up. So if my friend group is all like great quality people, it reflects well on me as well, just like in real life, right? I'm trying to model this as close to real life as possible and not really be it like, some like goofy game. Although I'm sure that like there's many, many infinite ways to improve it. Testimonials is the last thing. I can vouch for you. So if you had a user, or if you had a profile here on Lolo, I can go to your profile and I'll just show you this. Like I'll go to this guy's profile, right? I can vouch for him. So I could say for this guy, Kala, he's a guy I met out here. He's a founder in SF. I could be like, yeah, he's a good guy. I'm going to vouch like 10 rep on him. So that's when you see here how much has been staked out, that's what it means. It's like literally how we say it in English, I'm going to stake my reputation on you. Like that's an actual phrase. It's not a crypto phrase. So I'm trying to take that concept and really visualize it and crystallize it. So it's like, if I want to say, yeah, he's a good guy, I'm going to confirm the vouch and then his shit's going to go up. And that increases the amount that I vouched out, right? So it doesn't drop mine. It just shows that I'm vouching for other people. Other people can vouch for me. It's a very fluid system with the reputation. It's not like something you hoard. It's really something that you're supposed to build and then use to help other people and like support your friends, support people that you like. And that can then also like lead directly into discovery. So here, when you're filtering on the map, you have your friends. You can select you only want to see your friends. You can select for the different groups that you're a part of, the circles, the assets you hold, the rep range you want to be discovered in, or you want to discover people. I'm sorry. And for all the people who are thinking, yes, privacy, this is terrible. Well, I've thought about that because there's a host of privacy options, including having your ping turn automatically off after a certain amount of time. You can hide your wallet. You can go full ghost mode if you want. You can block DMs. You can block lower rep users from seeing you. Anyone below your level, they won't see you. Block your holdings, block all your socials. You can block everything if you want to go full anon. Or you can be fully like, yeah, I'm going to be doxxed and like, I'm just going to, here's me, here are my socials, here's all these things. So it's really like, okay, that was a long, like, explanation and kind of walkthrough. Of course, you can also message users and that works. It's not just fake. All this is working. Like this is live and anybody who's watching can go to can go and like try it right now. Right now, it's best as a progressive web app that you install on your phone or you install on your computer from the browser. It's going to be on iOS natively soon. And then of course, like, these two little tabs, kind of buggy, still figuring it out, but you can, if you just click and easy, see the people nearby, easy click events. There'll be events, upcoming, past, all of them, all this different stuff, right? All this different, interesting stuff. So yeah, would love to hear your thoughts on it.
Yeah.
And any comments from the audience as well?
Well, number one, shout out to E, basically saying alpha. I agree. We're getting the alpha in here. Very interesting. You know what I find very interesting about this? Because I think this is like the right time for something like this to exist, because I have a thesis that, and I think other people have a thesis too, because we're in this AI world and everyone is behind their computers and, coding away and creating projects. I believe there's going to be a rise in social interactions. People are going to really want to prioritize in real life meets, in real life meetups, social interactions, community feeling, because a lot of people are going to not have jobs anymore. Unfortunately, they're going to need to rely on human interactions to kind of get through things, bring everyone together. It's just, as kind of kumbaya as that sounds. So with that being said, an app like this, and not only that though, also you're going to have a lot of people who want to network. You're going to want a lot of people. So you're going to have this social thing where people want to come together, be more a part of a community, to foster loneliness, to overcome those things, especially in the AI world. But you're also going to have builders who are going to want to just like meet other people that share the same interests, that can help them, navigate connections and VCs and introductions. Like that's why people go to places like San Francisco. And it seems like your app can do both. can foster that for both people, because right now there's nothing like that exists. Because if we're in this crypto world, or even if we're in this tech world, like, I don't know. All I know right now is a lot of tech people live in San Francisco. That's it.
Right.
But a lot of people just don't go there. And even if you're in San Francisco, it's like, all right, what event? But like, you're providing this opportunity to, like, hey, whatever your interests are, you can find them on Lolo. And those that are on Lolo are obviously making themselves available. So I think you're onto something, man. I think those two factors alone really fit a need that I personally don't see out there. Let me ask you this though. What was the biggest reason for you to want to build it? Was it also network, or was there something that kind of like a moment where you were just like last year, like, I need this built?
So like I mentioned before, I had the original like snap maps for crypto idea, but that was like just like a line, right? And I was like, that could be cool. And then over the years, as I was working in crypto, I'm going to different conferences multiple times per year, right? Like every month or two, I'm going to a conference, and I'm always having the same problems. Like, I don't know who's here. I don't know what events they're going to. I'm just getting a big ass like Google Doc or Google Sheet of like 5,000 ETH Denver events, right? I'm signing up for all of them. My calendar looks like a war zone. Like, I'm posting on Twitter and I'm posting on LinkedIn, hey, who's going to be in Denver? I'm praying people respond, and I can like have some, and I can find the quality people that I would have wanted to meet there, I'm doing all that while knowing that I probably know like 100 or 200 people here, good quality people that I met before, and people that like I've been to events with before, or I've crossed paths with before. Yet I'm constantly losing connection with those people and like scrambling to try to like rediscover them and dig them out of my, the crazy like DM. I got Twitter DMs, I got Telegram DMs. How am I going to do all that? Like, even as somebody who keeps like a detailed contact sheet of like pretty much everybody I meet professionally, like, it's still not enough. And so I was like, you know what? I just want some shit that when I go to a new city, I can ping that I'm there. Others have pinged that they're there, and it's just super easy to find each other. And then we're also like, kind of drawn toward each other because of the overlapping network effects that we might have, that are like these invisible threads that connect us. If you and I have been to the same event 3 times and we never met, we probably should meet because we've been to the same events 3 times, right? Like, just now, if I go to, I forgot where you live, I think it's LA, right? So if I go to LA and I had never known you, and then you're on Lolo and I'm on Lolo, be like, yo, Bill's here. He's a good reputation. He's reputable. He has a good network.
Yeah.
Now I can message you easily and be like, yeah, let's go get some food, whatever. It's trying to solve that problem of like everyone. Okay, it's great that we all have these social medias and everyone's connected in every way, but it's only online. It really doesn't translate to the real world. And what you were saying about people will want to get outside, and like, I think that's 100% true. Like, we went through probably maximum online during 2020 to 2023 of like society. And now I think there's just like a big bounce back happening where people are like, you know what, I want to go to the park, or I want to go to the bar, or I want to go to like the concert, or I want to just like go have like a nice intimate dinner with my 5 best friends at someone's apartment. And like, I want to help people do that while also, like you said, having there be kind of like you could use it for professional as well if you wanted, or you can use it as an event organizer. Yeah.
Well, I think Ebo, I think you're on to something, and we have to wrap it up because we're past the hour. But
absolutely,
I really look forward to watching your journey. You're a good friend, so I'm happy to have you on. As in the future, when you have new updates, I want you to let us know. But any last words, my friend, to the solid 3,100 people who tuned in live?
Thank you. First of all, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in to Bill's stream. He does a great show, so I'm sure you guys enjoy it. And, tune in. I think you do it almost every day, right? So
Monday through Thursday, noon PST.
Yeah. So keep tuning into his show. Thank you for having me, man. I'm just cooking my ass off here on Lolo. My average day is like wake up, work for like, the whole time and then in the evening, usually I pop out to an event trying to build my network out here. It's going well so far. Lolo will be coming to, iOS as soon as I can. I'm trying to get it out on iOS like in the next week or so, in like at least a test version. And when I do, then I'll start to kind of like push it out. If anyone wants to give it a try, I would love that. Test it, beta test and stuff like that. And yeah, give it a follow on social media. X is Lolo_IRL. You can follow me at IBU PROD or consort_tech. So those are the 3 accounts that are associated with me and Lolo. And thank you all for checking it out. Really, really appreciate it. And I'll probably have another Life of Founder video dropping like tonight or tomorrow morning. So
I look forward to that. When the iOS app does come out, we do a segment on our show every day highlighting just the iOS app of the day. So we'll absolutely highlight that, and I definitely want to test it out. So just let me know, put me on test flight or whatever you decide to do.
Sweet.
But yeah, man, we'll cut this up into the podcast. I'll let you know when it's out. Cut it. My team will make a couple shorts as well, so you have more value on your end. So IBU, thank you, my friend, for coming on the show.
Thanks, Bill. Really appreciate you, man. Have a good day.
You too. IBU Carell, really good guy, man. And I like the fact that he's hardworking. He goes for what he wants, and he has that dog in him, man. I wouldn't bet against guys who have that dog in him. And I know, his move to San Francisco, when I saw that, I was like, this guy is serious. Like, I think that was a smart move. I think it was the best move for a founder. Not everyone has the opportunity to move to a different city. I get it. But if you want to build in tech, you want to get funded, you need to meet the right people. Going to San Francisco is a home run hit and going out and meeting and talking, because as they say, your network is your net worth. I repeat, your network is your net worth. So anyways, guys, this is Bill. We're out tomorrow. No stream again. This is Monday through Thursday, where we give distribution to builders building an AI apps tech or anything on chain. This is the show that you come to learn what's going on, what founders are doing. And this is for you to kind of weed out the noise, because this world is really evolving fast, and you need a show that kind of puts the bridge between builder and the audience. So guys, tune in on Monday. Got a solid week of shows. Enjoy your weekend. Peace.